We are now live. Hello, everybody, to wherever part of the
Hi.
world you're from. It is myself and Comics here with a very early indie interview today. And today we have Robert. Hello, Robert.
Hi, Bianca. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Exactly. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Dead Guy, for like testing out to see if the comment section work. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then hello, good morning, Blizzy. Who wants toast? I had grilled cheese this morning, so
Oh, man. Sounds good. I have some toast.
it was. I was in a rush, so I couldn't add condiments because I like making things like if there was like a tomato grilled cheese or a I just got a orange marmalade can, so I was like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
grilled cheese with orange marmalade sounds kind of delicious, and I was like, but I
Yeah,
can't
that
right
does.
now. Too filling. I need to do this interview.
Yeah, you'd be falling asleep.
Exactly. All right. So today we're going to be talking about your work called Essential. Can you tell us a little bit about your comic work?
Yeah, sure, Bianca. So, this book called Essential is a 24-page first issue in a series. Right now, it's outlined to be 5 issues of a story arc. Um, And the log line is this: it's when a mysterious virus starts killing off the world's superheroes. A middle aged, burnt out nurse who's been hiding his superpower his whole life has to figure out how to protect his young son and pregnant wife from what they may have inherited from him. So it's it's uh, it's about a family. I was describing it as being a slow burn, character driven family thriller, but it's set in a superhero world. That's basically like a crumbling superhero world because as these superheroes get sick, their role in society, like changes. Like they're the ones that are kind of like taking care of everything, but they're compromised now. So what is happening?
Right. And I'm guessing, do you have villains in your story too?
No, it's more. I was thinking about this, like, yeah, from back in like English class when I was in high school. There's like different themes, like in terms of man against beast or man against
Hmm.
whatever. This one is basically like Alex is the protagonist. It's basically him against himself. He's trying to reconcile with his past, and I guess in another way, the villain is the virus. Because it's like a race against time. They have to figure out how to protect themselves as they all start progressively getting sicker.
Hmm. And does this virus go to non superheroes as well?
So that's part of the story in the book. There's not very much known about the virus, and it's that's kind of described as Alex is driving to work at his hospital because he's a nurse, and he's listening to the news on the radio, and they're explaining that um, as this virus is known to attack and make superheroes sick, and they eventually die. It's also starting to show up in like quote unquote normal people, but and they're thinking that it's like mutating and it's affecting regular people because how it's showing up is that these regular people, so to speak, are getting sick, and then they're starting to develop or show like superpowers that they didn't otherwise show before. So it's kind of like
Mm.
a big mystery. And so later on in other issues, we get to find out more about the background of these superheroes, where they got their powers from, and like how it's kind of tied into kind of like government conspiracy type stuff. So um,
Nice.
yeah, I'm excited about I don't know. I'm excited about this issue getting out, but I also want to be able to keep providing. Like I want to make subsequent issues, obviously, because I want the rest of the story to come out. Because it's. I think it's really fun. It was so much fun writing this. So yeah.
Same. From what I looked at, it like grabbed me pretty
Oh,
well, and I was like,
cool.
"Oh, I want to see how this ends."
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yes, it's very eye-catching, and I love the art too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Jorge is a such a cool guy. He's in Colombia, and I just got so lucky finding him. Like I liked his coloring and how like the line work and just how it's just very expressive and it has a lot of movement and it's just yeah. So I'm just so excited that I found him and he's such a cool guy. I like talking with him and we um and it's really fun to get these pages back from him because it's like a I feel like a kid at Christmas like when he says, "Hey, I got more pages for you." It's like, oh man, I can't wait, and then it just blows me away. Yeah.
I agree. I have not heard of Alex versus the World, but it seems like my audience does. Alex versus the World and a non-sentient antagonist is the way to go. Blizzy seems to agree. And it says it makes it very existential and almost unknowable. It can't negotiate with a microbe. It's very true.
Yeah, yeah, and then in issue number 2, they'll find out kind of one way to potentially combat the virus, and then it begins this quest to try to get access to that. But in the meantime, Alex has to figure out a way to kind of immediately help his family, and that's when some of his medical training and background will come into play. So, like as you saw in the preview pages, possibly is like there's a lot of medical stuff in there. I mean, it's not a lot. It's not like I don't think it's going to be like a thing that only medical people can understand. Hopefully, it's entertaining for people who like shows like The Pit or whatever, which is really popular right now. It's that HBO show about doctors in the ER. But he's going to have to use some of his knowledge of just basic medical like triage and procedures to do something in issue 2 to help his family. So yeah, it's going to be more of that plus more superpower like mishaps and craziness. And then we find out more about his family and his backstory and what role they're going to play and what they did in terms of getting him to where he's at the moment when the story begins.
I do like that it's like somewhat family oriented. There's a family. We'll see what happens with them and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. And it's I'm glad that you said that you like that part. Like so it's been a little bit hard for me to figure out how to speak about the story in the book because at first I was trying to market it as like emphasizing the superhero aspect of it. But then I realized, there's like a whole there's a huge part of the comic book reading population or fan base that like really likes superhero books, right? But it's like more of like in a mainstream kind of superhero type audience, and I don't really know if my book would appeal to them as much because, like, just some background about me, I got into comics like indie comics when I was an adult, and so I don't have that much exposure or background to the big two, like Marvel and DC and like their
Hmm.
stories and their superheroes. Because I mean, honestly, and I feel bad saying this because I don't mean anything against them, but those stories and the art and stuff never really appealed to me very much. Um, and that's not to say that they're not good or they're not cool, but I just couldn't get into them. So I got really
It's completely
into.
fine. All of it is always subjective. If somebody doesn't like it,
Oh
that's
yeah.
completely okay.
Oh.
Don't feel bad about it, okay? It's your
Okay.
opinion.
Cool. Yeah, no, I just because I feel a little bit of like an outsider or something from not having that background, and I can't talk the talk or whatever, like in terms of um, just knowing about those stories and about those books. But my story just happens to have people with superpowers in it. I just thought that was a really cool just idea when I wrote this. I wrote this during COVID because I was working as a nurse during COVID, and that's when this idea came to me. And I thought, what if
Amazing.
yeah, it was,
I had a
it was,
feeling there was some relatability to it. I'm like, this seems so real. And I'm like, does he have experience?
yeah, yeah. I was working in a really busy, just crazy hospital at the time during COVID. And we had to wear multiple masks, like 2 masks, and then a face shield, and then like multiple, like isolation gowns they call them, like these plastic tarps, and multiple layers of gloves, and it was scary, and just people were getting really sick, and they were turning on a dime from being stable to really unstable. And at the time, I had two little kids that were under 2 years old at home. They're older now, obviously, but so I was a new dad with two little kids, and then I would go to work in this crazy setting with this crazy pandemic, and I'd come home and I'd strip all my clothes off like in the entryway of the house to like, and then put them in a plastic bag because we didn't know enough about it. We didn't know, we were scared of how contagious it was, and like we didn't know how different people were going to respond to this virus. And so yeah, all of that was going on when I wrote the story, and I thought, what if like the the people that took care of us in the world, and I thought, oh, who would be that? Like, would it be the government? And I thought, and then it dawned on me, what if there were superheroes, and they're the ones that are like the first responders, the essential workers, that like they prop up society basically by fighting crime and doing all these things that otherwise governments would do. And then what if they all started falling, getting sick? And then what happens then? So that's where the idea came from.
And it looks like we got some more questions. Yay.
Yeah,
Boom.
cool.
So some science-y dialogue too, question mark?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there will be for sure. It's not going to be like a course in like or like a lesson. It's not going to be boring with a bunch of exposition. I don't know. I don't tend to write that way. There's a lot of action in the movement in these panels, and it just goes from scene to scene to scene with all kinds of stuff happening. Because that's what I want to see. I want to be like sucked in and engaged and on the edge of my seat. And so that's just what I wrote something that I want to read. And so yeah, like there is some sciencey things that happen for sure, but I'm presenting it in a way that I think is going to be more like whoa, what the heck is this? This is crazy, as opposed to like some boring like little thing that I'm throwing into the story for the sake of it being sciencey. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I was noticing some terminology and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like the terminologies.
Oh,
And then from Lizzie, we have another question. What is one relatable struggle that we as the audience can relate to with Alex's journey?
Oh yeah. So well, I was also trying to, when I was mentioning how I was going to market this book, I mean, I think for sure it would appeal to people with children, with like grown-ups who like to read comic books that might have kids. But I don't think it'll only appeal to them. I mean, because Alex is a father and he's a husband and he has a pregnant wife, and so stuff starts happening to her. So for anybody that has like a partner that they care about, it definitely, I would think that you could empathize with what they're going through for sure. And then also Alex has a strained relationship with his parents. And so in subsequent issues, in issue 3, he has to kind of deal with some of his baggage, and specifically how he relates to his parents in order to try to solve the mystery of what's going on and try to help him and his family. So I think, I mean, I'm everybody has parents, everybody has somebody they care about, and so that's at the heart of what this book is about.
Nice. I am super interested, and I know a lot of my people, a lot of the people here who I know very well. Many of them are like friends. Many of them I've spoken to. Many of them like this type of stuff. So there is definitely
Oh,
an
good.
audience for it.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, that's encouraging. It makes me excited. So yeah,
So we have essential number 1. The
yeah,
goal is $2,200 or $2,200. And
right.
then we have 473 gained and 16 days to go. I
Yeah.
think we can at least make a good portion of that.
Oh, that would
I have
be
faith.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
then I'm on the Kickstarters. I'm not the Kickstarter. I'm on the no, yeah, this is called the Kickstarter. I'm on the Kickstarter side now, so I can't see anything behind me. If anything, if somebody's like writing a comment, I would have to switch back. So I'll be switching back and forth for a little bit just in case. And is it okay if I can be able to play the video?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you.
Awesomeness. And everybody, you have to let me know if the volume is okay. Please. And also if you can hear it too, because sometimes my guests can't.
Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Robert Garibay. I'm the writer and creator of the comic book Essential. It's a story that I wrote during COVID when I was working as a nurse on a really crazy unit in a busy hospital. And at the same time, I was a new dad to two little kids under 2 years old. The story is about Alex. He's a middle aged, burnt out nurse and dad who's been hiding his superpower his whole life. And when a mysterious virus starts to kill off the world's superheroes, he has to figure out how to protect his young son and his pregnant wife from what he may have passed down to them.
I liked that ending.
Yeah, I wanted to show a picture of Jorge because he's such a cool guy.
So we have Dead Guy who says, so family and everyone affected by COVID will definitely relate for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And he is a virus struggles story fan of all types of story styles. So yeah, we talk about these types of stories sometimes. We were just talking about like the movie 28 years later. You know, it's about a
Oh, yeah,
virus evolving, you know. And so I was
right.
like, this is right up his alley. I'll tell him about this story. I know he's going to be interested in this story.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, like I've watched a little bit of that one. I in my blurb in the Kickstarter page, you know how people have like comps, they'll explain, you know, that this project is for fans of, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I cited Contagion as one of them because the way that that movie kind of progresses, it's just like a race against the clock, basically. And I haven't seen all of 28 Days Later or 28 Years Later to know
Oh,
exactly what
you're good.
happened.
It's like 28 days, 28 weeks, and then 28 years. But apparently, 28 years is a three-parter movie.
Oh wow.
So the second part just came out a little bit ago. I don't even know if it's still in theaters, but I know the third part is coming probably soon. I don't know this year or next year, but I didn't even know it was three parts. I thought it was one. And then the second one came out, part two, and I was like, oh, I guess we have a part two. And then I heard part three, and I was like, oh, three parts.
And that's about zombies. People get turned into zombies, I think. Is that
It's
correct?
about a virus that gives you rage. It was originally in
Oh, okay,
Z.
okay.
Mm-hmm. And then it was just easily spreadable from like saliva and blood. So like, and it takes about 10 to 20 seconds for you to transform. So unfortunately
Oh
there
my
was no
God.
cure for that. So you have to kill or be killed, unfortunately.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna watch that now.
Mhm.
I'm really curious.
And
You sold me on
yay! And
it.
hello, Black Phoenix. Yay! All right, now back to the Kickstarter side. Oh, wait, let me go back here. So I want to let you guys know that the Kickstarter is in the pinned chat. It is also in the description. On top of my head is a QR code. If you're on your laptop or your computer and you have a phone on you, either Android or iPhone, I believe it works for Android too, you can scan the QR code on top of my head and it'll take you to the Kickstarter too.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Thanks,
know, right?
Bianca. That's great.
You're welcome. It's one of the many things that I liked from StreamYard that they included, and it's free.
Oh, that's really cool.
And as we already know, it is 24 pages, but there is a larger
Right.
story. And then here we have the characters, Alex, Gabriel, and Daniela. And then we get to see the preview pages. I love the colors here. I love the use of yellow. And then,
Yeah.
oh, there's red.
Yeah, I love how Jorge came up with these kind of color palettes that are unique to each character, which I didn't even like explain to him to do that, but he's just so good. Like, so all of the panels and story elements that are about Gabriel, who's the son, they're all kind of in this yellowish orange, and then the parts that are about Alex are all in this like bluish, muted kind of bluish color, bluish gray. Um, and and we haven't gotten to coloring the pages that have Danny or Daniela on them yet. So I don't know what he's going to come up with her. And just so you can be kind of aware of the, I mentioned that about how we haven't colored some of the pages. So the book is completely penciled and inked, all 24 pages, and 2/3 of the book are completely colored and lettered. So there's only like a third left that needs to be colored and lettered. And so that's what we're trying to get funding for. I mean, all of the $2,200 is not just for that. It's to help pay for printing and shipping, and to try to offset a little bit of what I paid out of pocket already to produce the art. But I'm not gonna make all of that back, which is fine because this has been like a labor of love, and I'm just so excited about it. So yeah.
I'm also excited. Are you guys just doing the US? Or are you guys also doing international? Because I know international is going to be a bit more pricey.
Yeah, well, I decided to just ship to the US only because of that reason. Like I had heard from quite a few other creators that it could end up costing them more and end up being a little bit more of a headache to ship internationally, specifically to like places like Australia and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
Um, yeah, and I had read some interesting pointers, which is that like hopefully later on, if I'd like to release the subsequent issues, but in later campaigns, if I'm able to offer multiple issues for reward tiers, then maybe I'll do international shipping because then it would be more cost effective. Like a person could purchase, issues 1 through 3 or whatever, 1 through 4, and then I could just bundle them all together and ship them like internationally, and then it would just be more worth their while, I guess. Or, if
I
that makes any sense.
agree.
Yeah.
We'll see what the future holds. I
Yeah.
want to be optimistic.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. And just so you know, the amount of preview pages on the Kickstarter, I think there's like 6 pages or 5 pages, but there's a full 8 page preview on Global Comics also. And I put a
Yes.
link in the Kickstarter to Global Comics, so you can get a couple more pages from that too.
Yes. And then let's see. Okay. So yeah. I'll also add it in the description too. I knew I was forgetting something. I was forgetting a link to add into the description. I was like, I
Oh,
have
that's
to
okay. I didn't send
the
it to
Global
you.
Comics link, and I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what am I doing again? And I'm like, I'll remember, and I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think I sent it to you like specifically. I don't think I did. So you would have to grab it from the Kickstarter, but I didn't mean
All
to
right,
create
I'll
extra
do
work
that
for you.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the artwork. I like the sketches. I love them all so much.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thanks.
I'm
Yeah.
just a
So when you get,
real big lover of art. Tell Jorge I love his art, please.
I will. I will. Yeah. I wish he could be here today, but he's so busy. He's got tons of work, which I'm glad for. Yeah. And
Exactly,
so
especially in this economy.
yeah, and this is one of the hospital scenes where there's a lot of medical talk. I tried to make it as as close to real life as possible. It's like when nurses show up for their shift for the day and they have to do a little work huddle where they all go over the news of the day and what to expect, and they talk about certain patients that are like high risk, or that's anything kind of unusual happened with them. And then of course in the huddle there's tons of treats and donuts, because that does happen in pretty much every nursing unit. There's a lot of eating of like donuts and pizza. And then uh, he's getting report, which means like he's getting the handoff from the night nurse telling him, which patients he's assigned to and what happened with them overnight. And one of them is this older gentleman who came in, and he's was acting normal when he came in, and then overnight he had some episode and he changed kind of quite a bit, and started acting erratically and just acting kind of crazy. And so that's where the preview cuts off.
Mm-hmm. And I relate to this as well. And then right over here, we have the more preview pages on Global Comics. This is a clickable link, so you can click, and then it'll take you over there. And then, of course, we have the famous Who's It For? This is a slow burn family thriller set in an apocalypsing... No, sorry. I read Apocalypse from a guy on the comment section, and I was like, now it's in my brain. I'm sorry. Dang it, that guy. All right. It's a slow burn family thriller set in a collapsing superhero world. Think Jeff Lemire's Black Hammer meets the movie Contagion. Contagion, was that how it was pronounced?
Yeah. Right.
Yay. With the moral tension of Breaking Bad. Well, I guess I now have to see Contagion because I'm going on a whole like thriller movie watching thing. It's been fun.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I wish I had time to watch movies.
Maybe in a few years.
Yeah, when my kids are a little older, maybe that's true.
Yeah. And then why Essential? Essential was born out of the insanity of life as a father of 2 kids under 2 years old and a nurse on a busy step-down unit during COVID. At this time, so much of what us nurses went through seemed surreal and absurd, and trying to figure out how to be a dad was no piece of cake either. Everything felt uncertain, urgent, and high stakes. I was having a hard time, and the story of an essential worker pushed to the limit in a world that is falling apart became my outlet. It is also very relatable. I'm not even I wasn't even a nurse, but because I worked retail, usually one was like a pet store and one of them was a supply store.
Right.
They were considered essential. One, because the animal has like animal stuff. People need dog food and cat food and other stuff. And then the other one, we sold like waters and generators and all that other stuff.
Yeah, which everybody needed, especially in a time like that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I hated it too. I was like, I wish there was more precautions and everything. Like some stores had like a glass,
like window. A plexiglass window. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We didn't have that, and I was like, that would have been great, to be honest. There was
Did they provide you with masks?
In my face. I did wear a mask, but even then, like, I guess the eyes are also what's it called? It's like 28 days later where there's blood and saliva. If they get into contact with a wound or your eyes,
any of your
mouth, so like I had people who wouldn't stay 6 feet away from me, and then they're coughing and sneezing all over my face. I have a mask and I have glasses on, and I still had COVID, and I was like, frick. And I'm like, why did you do this to me?
Yeah,
One
exactly.
lady got offended by it too. She was like, why are you walking away from me? And I'm like, 6 feet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was, can you remember? I mean, I think a lot of people blocked it out, or, I mean, now hearing you talk about it, I forgot about that. Like people were getting upset about it and feeling like all offended or like personally, they would take it personal, and then you had all these like naysayers or these like people that were, like actively trying to like not wear a mask and say it was all BS and stuff like that. It was, so, I mean, I'm not faulting anybody for their beliefs. Anybody can think what they want, but it just made for like a really crazy situation.
Oh, for sure. Like I live in Florida, so that was all around, but the stores, many stores still had like their personal rules that was company wide. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I'm a Christian too, but I can see it affecting other people and I see it
Yeah.
affecting the people I know, and like I'm all for science too, man. And I don't want to get something that's either similar to the flu or worse than the flu. I don't want
Right.
it. I like not being sick.
Yeah, and like now, you hear about people that have long-term effects from it. I mean, and we're still learning. Like, I'm still a nurse, and I still hear stories about how, oh, this person has all these after effects from COVID, and it's like, gosh, like but I don't know if they know how much that's accurately true, or like how accurate that is. Like, if they can officially cite COVID as being like a reason for developing these long-term things, but um, I hear about that as being a
Hmm.
problem. Yeah.
I'm now hearing people finally like getting over long COVID. And, some of
Yeah.
them got it from like 2019. And I was like, dang, that's
Yeah.
what, how long? Been 7 years now? And it's
Right.
finally gone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Oh, and then we have some people here who apparently know the Black Hammer. I love the Black Hammer, by the way. Oh, I loved Black Hammer. Got the first trade.
Yeah,
Is Black Hammer a movie or is it a comic?
it's a comic by Jeff Lemire. I think it was out on Dark Horse, but it's a pretty good long story arc. It spans like multiple trade paperbacks, and it's cool because it's about this group of this like ragtag group of superheroes that have been like exiled to like regular life on modern day Earth, and it's after some like apocalyptic like battle between like this like evil villain, and they got banished or like transported to like some little farm in the Midwest somewhere, and while they're there, they have to just like assimilate and act like normal because they don't want to be anybody to find out that they're like superheroes. But they're like they can't get out and they're kind of stuck, and so it's all about them and their like personal kind of struggles trying to navigate this, and stuff happens over the course of the issues where they're able to like kind of break free of it. But it's just his stories are a lot more about characters and and the relationships with people and stuff like that. So I really really like that story a lot.
Hmm. Oh, also, hi, Michael. Welcome back, Michael. He, I can feel you hate your anger and makes you stronger. No, I hate you. A post-apocalyptic. What the heck is that? What does that even mean? And then he writes, COVID is a cross-species virus. It carries all DNA with it when it spreads. So we still don't know how or what it could turn into later. Well, it
Yeah,
jumps species anyway.
yeah, exactly. So that's why like they don't know enough to say about it. So like a lot of times as a medical professional, I hear doctors saying things and I'm like, really? Like do we know that for sure? I mean, like I think there's okay to have some healthy skepticism, but I don't take it to an extreme. I mean, I work in the healthcare industry, but I still have to kind of just tread lightly, I guess. I try to like be as open-minded, but as like cautious as possible too.
Same,
Yeah,
of course. And
yeah,
I'm
because
not a
people,
healthcare professional, but I do that anyway.
yeah,
And then we have, oh my gosh, it's Robert, the writer and creator. You're a musician too?
yeah, yeah. So I did the music for like the video. Um,
Oh, it was so
yeah, and I
good.
do. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I tried to make something that sounded kind of tense and kind of suspenseful and kind of chaotic, but also like melodic and not too jarring. Um, and so yeah, and on my Instagram page, I have a bunch of music that I put on there because like as well as being a writer, I've been playing music my whole life, and so I've been in bands and toured and recorded at records and stuff. So yeah, I've done lots of different things.
You did anything and everything.
Yeah.
Woo! And you were also cooking in restaurants.
Yeah,
Nice.
before I went to nursing school, I was a cook for a long time. Yeah.
We have somebody in the comment section who did some chefing, if you will.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, that's what they call it. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of the stuff in the news right now about some famous restaurant where the chef is being stepping down because he was abusive, which I've seen that firsthand. It's not uncommon. It's a rough industry.
Gordon Ramsay, don't ever leave.
He's fun to watch.
Super fun. And then, of course, here he is. He pops up. Hello, a fellow chef cook here as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Abusive chef? Nah.
yeah, I know, really.
He understands. And then I love Jorge's little picture here. It's so fun.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Oh, he's also a full-time rock and roller.
Yeah, he's in a band. He's really good. He's just a shredder, like a guitar shredder. It's like kind of like stoner metal, like doom rock, like doom metal kind of his band.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, he's got long hair. He's really good at. He's got the whole thing down. You know?
It's the hair that makes it or breaks it.
Exactly. You got to have the look, you know.
And then the guy says, I'm deaf, checking the Kickstarter as soon as. Oh my gosh, I can read. I do voice acting, guys. Can you tell? I never make mistakes, obviously. I'm deaf checking the Kickstarter out as soon as this is done. I'll blame that it's like the morning. That's why I'm bad.
Yeah, it is. I know.
But when he
Nice.
loves doom metal and stoner rock, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I think on his Instagram he has some videos of his band, I think. Not I can't remember.
We'll figure that out. If you do
Yeah.
end up finding it, I'll share it into the description too.
Oh, I think there's a link. I think I put a clickable link under his bio, like the
Oh,
first
snap.
line. Yeah, yeah. I think
Open a
so.
new tab. Now it's going to be in the description soon. After this ends, guys, after this ends. And then you have why a Kickstarter. Crowdfunding will allow us to complete the coloring and lettering for the book. And as you said, 75% of it is already done. And you want to be able to print the physical copies. When we meet the goal, Jorge will be able to complete the book in about a month to 6 weeks. And then digital copies will be available upon completion of the work, and physical copies will print immediately upon approval of proof. I love this cover, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So, some people mention that they don't really know what they're looking at, but it
It's
is
a
explained at the
medicine thingy, isn't it?
the stethoscope is there on the yeah, and then that's like a rear view mirror from a car
Oh,
with the
that's what I meant to
reflection.
say.
Yeah. Um,
I literally thought rear view mirror, and then I looked at it at a different angle, and I'm like, also looks like a
the
medicine bottle. And
yeah.
then you
Oh,
said
it
rear view
can. Yeah,
mirror, and I was
yeah.
like, I was right
And then
the
it
first
has the
time. I
stethoscope.
second
Yeah.
guessed.
So all those elements, though, all those things are like elements in this story in the first issue. And so there's a reason why we chose to. Well, Jorge came up with that image cover, and I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah. And then just so you know, so the audience knows, and you know, Bianca, um, we are offering some exclusive stickers for the first 30 backers, and then we're going to announce, hopefully this weekend, a new a special reward that it's going to be an exclusive reward that's available to all backers. And then we also have some pretty cool stretch goals prepared. So hopefully we can get there to be able to offer those. But yeah, we have some plans for some cool stuff.
And we only have 24 backers right now. So that means we have Six
Stickers
more
suck.
to make the goal,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah. And the sticker, that image at the end of the video of the little boy, his name was Gabriel. What it said, you know, heroes don't, powers don't make heroes, I think is what it said. Um, that's a line that's going to be in the second issue. But I thought the little pin-up picture of Gabriel with the little ball of fire in his hands was just a really iconic image. And that's Jorge came up with that, and so I just decided to make that into a sticker.
Nice. I do
Yeah,
remember what you're talking about. So
yeah.
I am like very, very excited for that. And then of course we have the
Thanks.
risk and challenges. We're hopeful that the art will be complete in about 6 weeks after a successful completion of the campaign. However, there's always a possibility that life could intervene. We all know life happens, life sucks sometimes. So that is completely understandable. I will be keeping up all backers up to date on the progress of the book, whether we are on track to meet our timeline or not. Thank you so much for being transparative.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Go all the way up here. And then, my mouse chooses not to work today. And then, so let us look at the perks and rewards that we have over here. All right. So we have the digital copy of issue 1 for just
Right,
$5 today. And then if you want the script PDF, that is just an extra dollar for a total of $6, which is pretty cool. And then we have the physical copy, cover A, and the digital comic for $10. Of course, US shipping only, shipping included in the price. So you won't
right,
have an extra charge because there are some
correct.
who charge later. And
Yeah,
then we have the physical copy, cover A, with the digital version and the script for an extra dollar. So that is $11 in total. And then we have cover B. Oh, I love the colors on that one.
yeah.
So cover B is just $5 more digital with digital. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, that one I wanted to make it more of like an exclusive. It's completely different coloring, and the lettering for the title is actually really different too. And it was created as a pinup, like standalone pinup art piece featuring Gabriel. But I liked it because I kind of see it as like almost like it's like a perspective from Gabriel's point of view, not visually, but like his mind. He's like a 8-year-old kid, and so it's like his mind, like him at his from a kid's like perspective of what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Where am I? Oh, I'm in StreamYard. Go back to Kickstarter. All right, I'm back. And then, of course, cover B with the digital and the script, extra $1, so 16. Oh, we have a few people who already got that one. And then, if you want both covers, there are $30. There's no script version of the $30, so you can have one more be $31.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, maybe I'll have to throw that in as like an extra updated goal or something. We'll see. We'll see. And I wasn't really sure how much people would want to read that. I kind of thought it might only appeal to people that are like into either collectible stuff or like writing. Um, because like reading scripts can be kind of fun actually, the way that they're formatted and how they look. It's like a behind the scenes thing.
Oh, for sure. I've read a few
Yeah.
people's scripts before. It's like so different than like actually reading a book. And then, of course, it's not at all the same. Like you're reading a comic book, but the way it's formatted is so interesting because some people write
Yeah.
it like movie script and then some write like an actual book or comic book strip. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this one is like it looks like I mean, it is like a comic script, and then it'll have a page. It'll show how many panels are on the page, and then each panel is described in terms of what visually is in it, and then it'll have the dialogue that's like centered like a movie script for each character.
Mm-hmm. And then, oh, wait. Yeah. Go back to Kickstarter.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
that's it for
So,
the tiers.
is it possible that I can be able to play the video again for the audience that just came in?
Yeah, for sure. That's no problem. I know the sound
Hooray!
is sounds good. The sound is good, but if it was a little bit loud, I don't know if it was too loud for anybody.
No, you're good. You're good. Ah, all right. I had to refresh the page, unfortunately, but yay,
Oh,
we can
sure.
finally listen.
Hey, everybody. My name is Robert Gadibai. I'm the writer and creator of the comic book Essential. It's a story that I wrote during COVID when I was working as a nurse on a really crazy unit in a busy hospital. And at the same time, I was a new dad to two little kids under 2 years old. The story is about Alex. He's a middle aged, burnt out nurse and dad who's been hiding his superpower his whole life. And when a mysterious virus starts to kill off the world's superheroes, he has to figure out how to protect his young son and his pregnant wife from what he may have passed down to them.
Amaze balls. Yes.
Thanks. Thanks for playing it again.
No problem. And I'm happy to play it again. I do like the music.
Oh,
It is
cool. Thank
oddly
you.
soothing for some reason, even though it's supposed to be like thrillery.
Yeah, I wanted it to, thank you. I wanted it to be kind of a little bit of both, kind of like tense, but also, yeah, like have this underlying feeling that's almost like soothing, I suppose.
Hmm. And then for you, what would your origin story be on why you decided to make a comic book now? And have you ever read any that's like not Marvel DC related before?
Yeah, so when I got into comics, like as a kid, I used to walk like the 2 miles from my house to the local comic shop. It was really fun for me. And I would hang out there all the time. And I would buy, like, I remember buying like the first, uh, like, like some X-Men books and stuff. And I would buy them when I was a kid. And like I said, I wasn't into them, but I wouldn't really, I would try to read the stories, but they wouldn't grab me. But I was mostly into drawing the pictures. So I would copy the pictures from the comics, and I was really into that as a kid. And then I just kind of stopped. But as an adult, the thing that got me back into comics was Brian K. Vaughan's Saga, um, which is on Image. And so when I discovered Image and some of those books like Saga and Paper Girls and then some stuff on Dark Horse like Black Hammer and then there was like some horror comics like I liked Harrow County um, and they were I don't know, like I just thought the stories were so good and they weren't traditional like superhero stories. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like it didn't appeal to me to have like to read about these like really, really buff, shredded um like superheroes that are flying around in like super tight clothes and stuff like that. Um and so I like these other stories that were about kind of more like regular people, but they're in like these extraordinary circumstances. So, and I've been writing short stories my whole life as well. I tried at different points to like submit stories to some magazines and literary journals and stuff. I haven't been published yet, but then I wrote. But I explained like how the idea came to me. It was during COVID, and I just started writing. And I thought, like, I really love comic books. This was like at the height of me kind of getting back into comics, and I thought, what if I try the idea seems to be suited really well for a comic book. So I looked up how to write a script and what they look like, and I just copied, the formatting and broke it down into a script. So yeah, that's kind of like my path.
And did you think about how the future on how if you were to finish Essential, would you continue on the path, or would you say that Essential is your one and only and you want to keep it that way?
I don't know. That's a good question because I always have ideas. Like I'm constantly writing stuff down, and so all of my kind of energy right now is being funneled into doing the campaign because like promoting these things is a lot of work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm taking as much free time, the little bit of free time that I have to like do a lot of work with this campaign, and then um, but I'm still coming up with ideas. So right now, all of my creative juices are all kind of going into this project because yeah, the story even after this like 5 issue story arc, there's I have a lot of ideas for even more. So, but you know, I have to kind of like be mindful of like my time and energy. So, like for example, like I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So I don't sit down very like with a lot of regularity and keep writing like past this first story arc because I'm like thinking like, well, let's see how this one does, and I can always go back to writing. But the world that I'm creating is still expanding. Put it that way.
Nice. And we
Yeah.
look forward to what you do into the future. And we
Thanks,
see
Bianca.
that the money went up a little bit.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now we have 25 backers. We got 5 more left for that wonderful offer. Robert, explain that wonderful offer for the first 30 backers.
Yeah, the first 30 backers will get exclusive stickers, and yeah, and then there's going to be an announcement coming up about a new special reward offer for all backers. It's going to be available to all backers, and so we'll Jorge and I will announce that hopefully this weekend. But I'm excited to explain that. But yeah, the sticker is available for 5 more. The next 5 backers will still be able to get the free stickers.
Woot woot. I love free stickers.
Yeah,
I love stickers. All
yeah,
right.
stickers are
Looks like we're
fun.
going to end it here for today. It was been a wonderful interview. The comic is wonderful. And then I'll add Jorge stuff and the Global Comics link in the description. But everything else is already there, including your Instagram to follow you and the Kickstarter link if everybody wants to check it out. We thank you guys for coming by this morning. For people in the US,
Thank
it's the
you.
morning, not for Europeans. I'm sorry, afternoon, evening, probably. And we hope you guys have a great moonlight tonight, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, everybody. See ya.